Real easy. I got it. First of all, funeral shouldn't cost shit because you should have life insurance. That's one. Two, pick and choose all you want with what you accept from people. Because they don't got to give you shit. So the fact that you parted your lips to say you didn't give us enough or you told me you were going to take care of it. Yeah, I didn't think you want to spend $60,000 on a goddamn funeral. Guess what I wasn't about to spend? $60,000 on a goddamn funeral. What up? It's Three Brothers No Sense, your favorite barbershop style podcast. Once again, when you hear the questions, we hear the questions. Anything goes. I am Tavares Ferguson, aka Ferg, join my co-hosts, Buff and Rozzy. Fellas, tell them what's on your mind.
I just want to know how the LA Chargers coach got home. That's all. Does anybody, did he catch a ride with a fan?
Hey, we confirmed he got home?
Did he book with Southwest? Because ain't no way he flew back with the team, bro.
Man.
And I'm extra,
he could look most
mad. I'm extra mad because he messed up my parlay. He messed it up, so it's over with. But I can't believe they blew that lead. But when I saw the halftime score, I was like, they should be up more. They had 5 turnovers and were only up 27-7. I was like, that's not enough. They should be up by a bigger margin than that. So, meltdown in Jacksonville. Our homeboy was there to witness it. So, shout out to you, Sherman and the missus. You guys were able to witness some history. I think it's the 3rd biggest comeback in NFL playoff history. Yeah. So I guess that was cool. That's all I got, man. Other than that, folks, remember the Sneaker Ball coming up February 17th. Three Brothers No Sense gonna be in the building. Get your tickets. I think VIP is already sold out, so I'm sure general admission is probably slim to none. So get your tickets while you can. And they are stressing to wear a tux or suit, fellas. Apparently, some of y'all was acting up last year, just wearing polos or button downs. Suits or tux, okay? It's a ball. So treat it as such.
I think they said with tie and everything. I think they were kind of...
Yeah. You can't do the turtleneck combo or anything like that folks love to do. Got to have a shirt and tie, bow ties if you're going to do that. You can do a necktie, that's fine. But it has to be an actual shirt and tie.
Wow. What you got for us, Rozzy?
Finally, Pepsi is canceling Sierra Mist. I am so excited because that crap is nasty. Oh my God. So, but the funny part about it is they're replacing it with a new lemon lime soda called Starry. I don't know what Pepsi be thinking.
Is that your joke?
No, that is dead serious. They're canceling Sierra Mist and they're replacing it with the new brand called Starry.
I gotta ask Rozzy. Hold on, pause for a second, sir. How do you be finding out all these random things? Do you have a subscription to nigga
Uber
guess
facts.
what? What is? You always come up with the most random. Do you Google this stuff?
It was on Business Insider. So, they're reporting on Pepsi. I got to follow for the investments and that type of thing. And that's a big deal for Pepsi. And PepsiCo is to replace Sierra Mist. But I don't think I've never ran across anybody that said, man, I like Sierra Mist. I literally will be like, oh, y'all got Pepsi products. I can't drink your lemon lime soda because I hate Sierra Mist so bad. So they messed up when they got rid of 7-Up in general. And so now they're trying to do a 3rd new lemon lime soda. So, but I want to taste it, of course, when it comes out, whenever I can find it. But yeah, for the 2 people that love Sierra Mist out there, sorry, you guys won't be able to get Sierra Mist anymore.
So this is how far behind I am. I didn't realize they canceled 7-Up. Until you said it, I was like, yo, I haven't seen a 7-Up in years.
I was going to challenge you on that one. I don't know.
The folks who own, I think, Dr. Pepper is with 7-Up. So I can't remember that company. But yeah, they are offshoot. And so when they split, 7-Up went. And that's when Pepsi brought out Sierra Mist. Because they were like, oh, we need a lemon lime soda too.
That's trash.
It's so bad. It's so nasty. So that's all I got, man. On the return of shows, Vikings Valhalla season 2 is out. So if you guys like Vikings, Valhalla's not as great as the original Vikings, but it's a pretty good show. So that's out there. And I want to say shout out to Sophie and apologize to her because she has been trying to get me on an anime for the longest. And you guys know I love anime, but The Promised Neverland is a dope anime that she has been trying to get me on. We finally started watching it. Haley actually likes it and she hates anime. So just to let you know, if you want a kind of a easy in, it starts off really, really cute and gets dark really fast. But if you like drama, if you like mysteries, if you like that type of stuff, it's a really dope anime to kind of start watching anime. It's not really kid friendly and kid safe, but I don't know how the kids ended up watching it before I did, but it is what it is. It's animated, so blood and gore is fine in anime. But yeah, so check those out. Vikings Valhalla season 2, and then Promised Neverland is back. Oh, and the other one is Vinland Saga. If you like anime, that came out. So I'm on my Viking kick right now. So Vinland Saga is another one that season 2 just dropped, and so go check those out.
I did start watching Willow since you brought up shows. I'm only through episode 1, and didn't see that coming. Started Kaleidoscope last week. Yeah, that show's all over the place. I can't even tell you where I'm at because I don't know which colors I've watched so far. But very, very ingenious on how they're doing the show.
Yeah, it's dope. I mean, just to kind of think through it. I see how they say you can watch it multiple times and get kind of a different feel from watching it in different orders. So yeah, it's dope.
Okay, Byron, I wanted to bring you back in. Can you give us an update on the house?
Well, they came back after we last recorded. They came back and voted on different rules and things like that. They made it extremely easy to where if they're not pleased with Speaker McCarthy, they can call a vote to remove him and vote on another speaker. So their retort to that is that's how it's always been. It only changed when Pelosi became speaker. So good luck with that. Also, they are going to be investigating Biden. As you know, they found some documents at Biden's house. And I know liberals want to try to dismiss it as a nothing burger, but it is kind of a big deal. Because first off, they found these first set of documents, and it took the White House 2 months to admit that they found them. Then they found some, and then they assured us that was it. And then they found more documents at his house, and it took them like 2 days to admit that. Now, the difference is, because I know conservatives are going to try to conflate the two and say, see, y'all was all on Trump and Biden doing the same thing. The difference is Biden and the White House are cooperating. Trump and them were pretty much, they pretty much slammed the door in the Fed's face like, nah, ain't nobody here. They closed the door, and so they had to get a subpoena, and that's why they raided his house. So there is a big difference, but to the casual voter, all they hear is documents at Biden's house, documents at Trump's house. What's the difference?
Yeah.
No,
and
it's a bad move.
Didn't Biden's administration actually say, hey, we found them and let the feds know? Like the feds didn't find them.
Immediately. Like it was Biden's lawyer, as a matter of fact. Biden's lawyer found it, and he doesn't have the clearance. He saw that it was classified. Once he saw the first page, he stopped, called the Department of Justice, and they came in and retrieved them. And it wound up being, they thought it was only 1 page, it wound up being 6 pages. So they are now, I don't think they have been as forthcoming as they should be, but they are cooperating. And that's a huge difference between Biden and Trump.
Yeah, because I'll let you know, it's classified documents do get mixed in every once in a while. Like I hate to say it, but it happens. Like, I ain't gonna say how I know.
So that's what I was gonna say. Let's talk about the humanity of it. And I'm not covering for Biden. Like I agree with you, Razi. Those things happen. So is this bigger than we think it is? Like, is it a misjudgment. He just got caught. Like, hey, I'm taking this home to read it today. I'll bring it back tomorrow. And crap, I forgot to bring it back.
So they are assuring us that it was just nothing more than kind of like how Rozzy described, like a mistake. Like it's nothing. Yeah. No, it wasn't intentional. It's nothing. It's not like they were trying to hide anything.
And classified is very broad too.
Yeah. So we'll see. My only worry is that, like I say, the general population is going to hear it and say both sides. They're going to do the whole both sides do it thing.
Oh, don't worry. No worries. It's going to happen. So like, don't even worry about it. Like it's there. Like, like don't like, I wonder if they're going to do this. No, it's already in the atmosphere. My bad. So
he ready Byron get his coffee out.
Yeah, like
he's like, don't worry, it's going.
It's there. Like, there's no need to worry. It's already,
Oh man, true that.
Well, we'll kick off I'll take a step back. When you hear this recording, it will be Martin Luther King Day. So happy Martin Luther King Day to all our people. Hopefully you are off work. And if you are at work, they should have been closed. They should have been closed. Unless you're in hospitality. Because I might go out to eat tomorrow or something like that. Now I need y'all to give them the service I need. But all right, so we're going to take a step back and have a moment of silence. We lost one of our classmates, Henry McGuire, a.k.a. Henri. He passed this week before from a aortic aneurysm, and the services were this past Saturday. He was a class of 99er, and he will be missed. He was well known in the Mobile community. He was a photographer, and so he was always out and about. So to the family and friends, our condolences. So let's have a quick moment of silence. All righty, thank you. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into the program as you know it. Three Brothers No Sense, your favorite barbershop style podcast where anything goes. Rozzy, do we have Sophie available today?
She's not, but she did send me a joke. So y'all gonna have to get my delivery. Y'all ready? So she sent me a meme or whatever, and it said, if a stork delivers babies, what bird prevents babies?
Penguin.
A swallow.
So first of all, that might be your best one yet. That might be your best one yet. First of all, we know Sophie didn't do that joke. I know good and god doggone well my goddaughter didn't do that joke. I hope she didn't do that joke. But that might be your best one yet, sir.
No, I think it came up after a joke that she sent. You know how you swipe and it it comes up. I think she sent me a TikTok or sent me a reel, and it came up after. But yeah, however, so whatever Sophie sent me prompted that one to come up.
Yeah.
So
yeah, damn. Buff is still quiet.
It was good. It was pretty good joke.
Right.
Good joke.
Yeah. You're starting off the new year, okay, bro. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to shout out to Huli Melvin of Truth Be Told Sports Podcast. He actually, we were on Call of Duty, and he says he enjoys my jokes, and he said you two brothers need to get off my back because he likes them.
I mean, that's just hearsay.
He was very nice.
We talk to Huli all the time, and he never told us that your jokes are good. So until he tells us your jokes are good, Huli, feel free to let us know how you feel about Rozzy's jokes. I admire the fact that he still tells his jokes. So I appreciate your confidence and dedication to your jokes.
Plus people like to be nice to Rozzy.
Oh yeah, people do like because he's light skinned.
So it's light skinned. We just
I'm just saying, y'all, it is what it is. But that was a good one, bruh.
Wow, this house is cute. But can I really get in the game in this economy? I do have savings, and I am responsible-ish. I should bury it. I'm being wild. But what if I'm not being wild, though? Could I actually score a...
Kick off your home buying journey with Zillow's new BuyAbility tool. It makes it easy to find out what you can afford, so you can get off the bench and onto the playing field with confidence. Check your BuyAbility, only on Zillow.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
So who wants to go first today?
I can grab it. So we talked a bit about the NFL. I would say the last 2 episodes now. Let's go ahead and make it 3, especially with playoffs in full swing and the Chargers messing up my parlay. Oh, I already said that. Okay, I'm gonna let that go. So about 5 years ago, I said that I don't think the NFL is going to be around in 25 years, and that was like when CTE was becoming a huge issue. And then recently, we just saw what happened with Damar Hamlin. And people, again, were talking about how dangerous the sport is. And I know a lot of football players who played don't want their sons to play. And I'm seeing more and more parents say they don't want their kids to play. So when I say the NFL won't be around in 25 years, what I really mean is it won't be the top sport that it is now. The talent pool won't be what it is. It's kind of like, you guys know I love boxing. Boxing used to be one of the top sports. But when sports like football came along, big athletic, strong guys started playing that sport. So the talent pool in boxing dropped dramatically to where it wasn't as interesting to as many people as it used to be. And so a lot of fans turned away. So now it's kind of like a background sport, so to speak. I feel like that's what football will become in another 20 years or so. I could be dead wrong. It probably could be full thriving 20 years from now, but that is like my bold prediction. What do you guys think about that? Or is the machine too strong to where we can literally see somebody die on the field? I know we saw Damar Hamlin, but he was resuscitated and brought back. But if we actually saw someone down the field, football is so large that it still would keep trucking on. What are your guys' thoughts on that prediction that I have?
I disagree. I think the spectacle that you speak of, right? The big hits and the near death and all of that stuff is what keeps people interested, right? Like I feel like that pool is large enough that I think it's going to continue on, right? There are a lot of people that don't want their kids to play and like you say, are second guessing it. But there's plenty of people that still want to send their kids to the little league parks and want the big hits and train their kids and everything. And I think that the people that could have made it to the league or that will make it to the league are still going to be the ones that keep going and keep pushing. So I don't think it's going anywhere. The only way that I see the NFL dying in 25 years is if a new sport comes along that's just as big of a spectacle that gives us that wow factor and maybe, is a little safer. So like you say, the talent can start shifting towards that or something like that. I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie Real Steel, but Real Steel is where the robot boxers and stuff, and like it got to the point where, okay, I don't need people in the arena or whatever, but I can still get that wow factor and all of that. That may be something that kind of changes the landscape. But for what we have today and everything, it's going to take a new sport or something else that gives us as big of a spectacle. If not, the NFL is it. I don't see anybody walking away and saying, oh, that's too bloody for me, I don't want to watch it. Like, people don't care. And I think the pool is large enough and there's enough people that want to play it that next 25 years is definitely safe.
So let me be clear. I don't think people will ever like the thirst for violence is always there. We went from gladiators, I mentioned boxing, to football. So that thirst will always be there. My point is that the talent, so many, like the more talented people will no longer play it like we have now. The pool won't be as large, full of talent, to where the game won't be as good. We have excess. This is the third attempt by the XFL. They have big hits. They have violence, but don't nobody really watch it because they're not that good. And so that's what I'm saying about the NFL. Like, where the talent pool shrinks so much to where the product won't be as great as it used to be.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. My answer's still no. But it made me rethink it a little bit, because to your first point, the machine is too big.
Yeah.
People grow up Dallas Cowboys fans wanting to play for the Cow. You can have not an athletic bone in your body wanting to play for that team you grew up on, the 49ers. You're going to have that favorite player that still makes you think that you want to get out there. People are going to, and so it's passed on. Like, it's the family. It's almost a family legacy of the games and stuff like that. So as long as they can still tailgate and do all those things, and no sport does it like the NFL. Any other sport in America can be replaced outside of the NFL or NFL or college football, simply because there's one game a week. It's only 1 day or 2 days out of the week, that you're watching that team. Now 3, whatever. But you're going to sit down and watch the 49ers or the Packers play, and you go tailgate. That's all you got. It's not like the Lakers. They got a game Wednesday. They got a game Friday. Baseball, they have a double header. It's all my attention for the next 2 to 3 hours, and every New England Patriots fan in the country can sit down at the same time and watch the same game, because we only get to watch it once. It's only 17 games that we're going to watch. And to me, the marketing is too strong. Like, it's a part of a culture. Like, I don't care. You're a Heat fan. Do you watch every Heat game? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're also a Colts fan. You probably, the percentage of Colts games you watch is high, especially when they have a good team, is higher than it is with the Heat, because you can't catch all 82, 83 games. Then if they make it to the playoffs, like it's almost impossible. So there's that. The talent, I mean, maybe people who have more options or access to resources and other opportunities might steer their kids in a different direction, right? Because you think, when we went to high school, football, basketball, then kind of had track and soccer and baseball.
And baseball, like the tertiary ones.
Yeah. There's no badminton. We don't have lacrosse. We don't have all these other sports that, we didn't have a swim team. Did we have a swim team?
We had a swim team and a golf team.
We had a pool.
Yeah, we had a swim team and a golf team. We had a swim team.
No, we ain't had no swim team. Who's on the swim team?
I can't remember because most of us couldn't swim. But I think Henri was on the swim team.
I don't know about all that. But
an archery team.
Yeah.
So my thing is, like, so the people who don't have access are going to default to what they know. It's part of the culture. The appeal of my 8-year-old son going out at that, say I was still in Tomaville, Figures Park, Gargis Park one time for old school, going up there and starting his football career and making it to the league. That's a dream. It's a lofty goal, a hell of a dream, but maybe that's my only way of getting out of here. That's my only way of getting out of this situation. And that's an American dream for a lot of people. Having that athlete that can take them out of the hood, because you see it so many times.
Yeah. And not so much to take me out of the hood, but it's that still that popularity of, the football team, and that's the folks, right, in school, and the popularity that comes with that. And like, especially in the smaller towns, right, like the football team can go in and they can order some beer and all of that because, you know, the Friday night lights type thing. I think that culture is still there. The baseball team can't do that, right? I mean, you got to think your baseball team gets an average of 40 to 50 people coming to each game, kind of like you're talking about, right? Even the basketball team, the stadiums or the arenas or whatever, the gyms only hold 150, 200 people. Where you're talking about the football game, you can get 1,000 people, 2,000 people, maybe 10,000 people on a big game type thing. So that's the difference. There is the popularity that comes with the sport. Is why people are going to gravitate towards it and still want to play it.
Yeah. And a couple of things I want to clarify. I'm not trying to make it a black or white thing or whatever, because it's access to everybody. So a couple of points. And maybe because we're from the South and that's what dominates is football. I don't see it. But think about it. Have they ever made a outside of Coach Carter? Like, all these are football movies. You can go watch a high school football game and be entertained. You can go watch a college football game and be entertained. They'll make movies about all these things, but nothing else is as entertaining. That, you know, think about, what was it? Varsity Blues, redneck, middle Texas. This is going to get you out. This is going to get you a scholarship. This is going to get you out of hood. This is going to, well, their little, country redneck hood. Like, this is your opportunity. And as long as football is an opportunity to get people a better option, it's going to be popular. And let's be honest, those hits, as much as we hate to see anybody get hurt, if we can see a nice crackback or a big hit every play and nobody gets hurt, we'll be all for it.
You guys are more than likely right, and I admit that. It's an extremely bold prediction. So when we're 61 and the Super Bowl is still the biggest sporting event in the world, well, at least in America, you guys can say, hey, you were wrong, Buff. But I think you guys are not seeing the forest. I just think there are so many, like, we're in a generation now where you can make money without leaving your house through social media and things like that. There are so many other ways now to make money. We've seen prominent players just quit, like Andrew Luck quit. Had a cornerback, I think I forgot his name. He was he had a brother in the league as well too. Just quit in the prime of their lives. That's just two examples, but I just think that it's gonna come a point in time where the talent pool is just not gonna be what it was. And I'm telling you, when the game is not as good as it should be, people are not gonna watch. Like when the NFL went on strike and they had those replacement players in there, nobody was really watching. People watch football, for the violence and everything, but they like the talent that they see. It's great to watch. The catches, the passes, the hits, and everything is great. If that talent starts to suffer, ratings are gonna drop. And I think that over time, as less and less people find less harmful ways to make money, they're gonna do it, and the talent pool won't be what it is right now. But we'll see. I'm probably more than likely wrong.
I agree with you. I do think that if the talent pool dries up like that, then I do think that we would see kind of the death of the NFL. Maybe not football, right? In general, but maybe the NFL. But I think when you think through, I don't see that talent pool drying up because I don't think it's all about money for every guy. I don't think it's about getting out of the hood for every guy that tries to make it to the league. I really do think it's for a lot of those kids, it really is just the dream of playing in the league. The money comes,
and they are starting to be MCU like a criticism of the MCU is like they're hitting us with too many movies back to back now. It used to be you get your one or two movies and you get to sit on it and enjoy it, and now it's like almost every other month there's a new movie. Thursday night football, sometimes Saturday, Sunday, Monday. They need to get rid of Thursday night football. Thursday night football has been trash for a few years now because you're taking players that have played in the game on Sunday, and it takes time for those bodies to heal, and you're asking them to go out there like 3 or 4 days later and play again. Like, they're doing too much. I know they're trying to grow the game and play games in London and Mexico City. So
I'll give you this. I can see the sport deteriorating, not due to the talent pool, because I think with sports medicine and everything we're in, is they're breeding athletes. They're making them. What I see is the rules taking the game away.
Not being able to
point
quarterback.
where
That's a good one.
like you're one step away from flag football.
Yeah, especially on the quarterback. I can see that. I think they're too. They are Patrick Mahomes. Who's another top quarterback right now? Like, they're getting to the point to now where, like, just put flags on the quarterback. Don't tackle him anymore.
Right. Well, it's the difference of, like, you talking about the sports medicine and even the increase in the equipment and everything, right? Like, I can hit harder because they put more padding on me, and it protects me a little bit more. So now I can hit harder, and now they breed me to be able to hit harder and everything. And that's why, like, rugby, they don't even wear pads, right? And less people get hurt in rugby than they do in football, right? And if you look at rugby, it's pretty beastly. Like, those dudes be out there doing their thing. So I think it's one of those things that, I can see a little bit of that, where the rules, the increase in the padding, causing the accidents and all of that, it is getting to be a lot. But I just don't see it in 25 years, maybe in 50. At that point, we're like,
okay.
Now, Buff, I'll give you one more. It might not be the talent pool. It might be the evolution of the kids.
Yeah. Like they may want to watch a Madden tournament before they watch the actual NFL.
Not even that. I just think about, we still have kids that'll go out there and play, but think about how much we went out and played just football, like sideline tackle. Like it was a rougher generation. As a generation becomes less physical, and not even just like the hard nose, we're tackling on concrete type stuff. I'm talking about kids not going outside. Like, how many times has Ollie gone outside and just played a pickup football game? Mm-hmm. Versus how many times you had or we had by that age. And so the appeal for the violence, I like somebody else doing it, but I ain't about to get hit right there like that. So that might take some of it away, where the kids aren't as, I've seen kids get their teeth knocked out, playing sideline tackle or something like that back in the day. These kids ain't doing that same thing. Not as much. There's still kids out there doing it, but it's not the same, because for most of us, there was no other options. We didn't, we couldn't sit there and game all day. Take your ass outside. And now that take your ass outside generation is gone, the sports that come along with those natural sports and activities that come along with those die.
It's definitely hard to fathom. So, but yeah, that's all I got, man. And to echo what you said, Ferg, how our generation loved violence, we had a game called B Spice. Just an excuse to punch each other.
Yeah, we were stupid.
Man.
I mean, think about all of it. Sideline tackle, I don't know what y'all call it, but pick them up and bust them, like, like that was just so. Throw the ball in the air and catch it and run as back and forth as many times as you can without getting knocked the hell out. The game. You got to think, who came up with that?
So your kids be like, so y'all didn't keep scoring? No. It's just
the score reset once you lost the ball. So if you can make it back and forth 3 times, you got 3. So when Byron got the ball, you back at 0.
So when did the game end? When too many kids had to go in to eat dinner, street lights came on.
Yeah.
Or everybody was too hurt.
Yeah. All right, who got next, man?
Razi, go ahead and knock it out.
All right. So I don't know if y'all saw the news about Big Scar and Gucci Mane. So if you guys don't know, Big Scar was a recording artist on Gucci Mane's label, and passed away. And Gucci Mane sent $10,000. The label sent another 10, so $20,000 on this guy's funeral. And his sister came out and was like, we spent $60,000 on this funeral. That $20,000 only covered like flowers and stuff, and we didn't need that from him. He didn't do nothing because he said he was going to cover the funeral. And all three of us, I think, have had to foot the bill or foot major parts of a bill for a funeral in the last few years. And so I wanted to ask your opinions on, one, how much should a funeral really cost, right? $60,000 is a pretty big funeral. And two, the idea of, I guess, picking and choosing how much people give to you, and does that make sense? Like, should they just not do anything versus giving you so much? Like, I don't get her point on any of that.
Real easy. I got it. First of all, funeral shouldn't cost shit because you should have life insurance. That's one. Two, pick and choose all you want with what you accept from people, because they don't got to give you shit. So the fact that you parted your lips to say you didn't give us enough, or you told me you were going to take care of it, yeah, I didn't think you want to spend $60,000 on a goddamn funeral. Guess what? I wasn't about to spend $60,000 on a goddamn funeral. So yeah, very simple. I mean, funerals can be expensive. In this day and age, we have to be more responsible. We have to start looking at life insurance. There's really, I've seen it in the last couple of years on all levels, from young to old. You know, you would think somebody is, that old, of course you got life insurance. Nope. You think somebody, they're too young to have life insurance and, they got years to pay. Nah, tomorrow's not promised. Get a life insurance plan, people. I don't know, man. How can you tell? I'm over it. Bye. Frustrated.
I can't name one song by Big Scar, so I'm not familiar with his music or anything like that, but I would assume, as a lot of rappers are, that he was somewhat in that life. How much in that life, I don't know, but he was in that life. So I actually don't expect him, I'm stereotyping, I don't expect him to have life insurance. Like, hearing he didn't have life insurance is par for the course. With that said, $20,000 should have been more. In fact, she should have had about $15,000 to $10,000 left after she got that $20,000. I don't know. I would ask what the hell was $60,000 going towards, but that doesn't even matter, because that's just plain out stupid to spend that much on a funeral. You use what you get. She got the $20,000. That's what this reminds me of. I think we talked about it on the show before. You guys remember when Jalen Rose was kicking his sister out of the house? It reminds me of that. Just that people have so entitlement. I mean, people are so ready to spend your money. You got it, so you should give it to me. That is amazing to me that people have the audacity to think that. I don't have much to say. I'm mostly ignorant of this story, but I can be ignorant of this story and confidently say she's stupid to expect $60,000.
Her decision making. That young lady might be very intelligent.
Okay, we'll go with that. But no. And like Ferg said, Gucci Mane wasn't obligated to give her to be honest, he had to give her nothing. But
I think we've all seen this. We've all seen.
And like my thing is like, because people never miss an opportunity to try to flex. So like, was she trying to have it to where it would be recorded and everybody could see how nice they look, and stepping out Fendi down and Gucci down and all of this stuff like that?
Well, she had to have an outfit. He had to get some new jewelry. I'm trying to figure out how you spend stuff.
I don't even know how you spend $60,000 on a funeral.
It had to be food at the repast though. It had to be like crab
bottle
legs.
service.
Okay.
The after party. Like,
Stop.
it had to be
Okay,
something. I don't know what's going on.
You stop.
I mean, just think about it, 60,000. But let's get back to reality. We've all seen situations where people not paying for the service have
the most to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've seen it. And it's like, come again? And Big Scar, whatever his name is, God, rest his soul, first of all. But at the same time, like you said, I don't know any of his music. And I don't know what made her think that he was going to be, I don't know, there's so many things. First of all, I'm gonna push back a little bit. Like, if he's a rapper, he's probably in that life. Nigga, that's why you get life insurance. Like, that is exactly why. If you're a 25-year-old guy and you work a 9 to 5 and you know, okay. I'm not even gonna say okay, I see why you don't have it, but that makes a little more sense. Like, I really don't take that many risks in my life that, something like this, I'm more likely to die this young. But when you out here in these streets, that's when you be like, oh, you in these streets? Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. But I got life insurance, so maybe I just don't get it.
Yeah, I brought it up because you guys remember, I was planning Jen's funeral and I was talking to the funeral director, and one of the things that I told them, when they were trying to do all those bolt-ons and add-ons and you should get this and this and this, and I was like, every dollar that I spend right now is money that my kids don't have going forward, or her kids don't have going forward. And so, no, I'm not trying to spend and make this some extravagant thing. This is for us to say goodbye, celebrate her life and everything like that. Those are things that she wouldn't have bought in her life. Why am I buying in her death? Right? And so those are the things that kind of was going through my head. And I just could not fathom, like you guys say, spending $60,000 on a funeral. I mean, that's an Obama level, like, who was it when, I can't remember, it was past that they had like a 7-hour funeral or whatever
Aretha
it was.
Franklin.
Aretha Franklin, yeah, when she passed, like those are the things that, like, I just don't, I can understand maybe when there's going, you have to have such a large space, right? And so there's going to be flowers to fill that space and everything. Like you say, like, nobody knows Big Scar like that to be like, oh yeah, we need to televise this and all of this stuff. Like, I don't get spending $60,000 at all on this. And like you said, when Gucci Mane said, I'll pay for the funeral, I'm assuming, just like Ferg, $20,000 is enough to pay for this funeral. Like, so I don't understand. Ferg, you're on mute if you're trying to talk.
And if not, then you're fine putting extra $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 that you need to put with it too. Because guess what? You don't have to pay $20,000. Mm-hmm. So when it costs $25,000, I just look at it as, well, that's $20,000. I ain't have to spend even a $60,000 wedding. Guess what? That $20,000 is. It's still $20,000 I didn't have to spend. If I want to have a $60,000 wedding, and then put it out there now, please don't spend that much money on me, unless I could do a T'Challa wedding. Funeral. Like, I want to be beamed up and all this stuff and sent to space. If we can do that, then spend my $60,000. If not, I want everybody in all white. I want to be beamed up from a ship. That's what I want. If we can't do that, Z has my plans. It's recorded right now. If I can't have a T'Challa wedding, I don't want expensive. Funeral. I don't want expensive funeral.
Yeah.
But dude, $60,000 and then the audacity to be upset.
Well, Fendi ain't cheap. Like, Balenciaga charges like $900 for a hoodie, and it just says Balenciaga on it. So
yeah. What I'll tell you, who don't charge $900, that is Three Brothers No Sense. You go to threebrothersnosense.com, get you one of our hoodies for a nice $40, set it out. So go do that.
Maybe we should get not Balenciaga on our shirt. On the for that same price of one of their hoodies, you can buy hoodies for you and the whole family.
Why not? Gucci has a line that literally says fake. Like, they have a line that's made by Gucci, and it says fake on there. Like they're mocking the people that make fake Gucci. But it's real Gucci, and it literally says fake on there. So that'll be like our version of not Balenciaga. Let's do it.
We got to misspell Balenciaga just so we just don't get in trouble.
Yeah. I don't want no trademark stuff.
Cool. Let's do it. What you got, Ferg?
Halliday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.
Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast here to tell you about Michelob Ultra Courtside. It's getting fans closer to the NBA with a chance to win prizes like courtside seats, a trip to All-Star Weekend, and much more. Check it out at MichelobUltra.com/courtside. Michelob Ultra Superior Access, Courtside 24-25 sweepstakes, no purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 21 and up. Begins on October 1st, 2024, ends July 1st, 2025. Multiple entry periods. Visit MichelobUltra.com/courtside for free entry deadlines, and official rules. Message and data rates may apply. Void where prohibited.
Well, with that being said, I think I know my question. Since, like you said, we are the United States. There's a lot of good things that come with being American citizen. A lot of privileges, I'll call it that way. But with that being said, with that American ideology and our sense of entitlement as Americans, do you think this American dream, how do you think it plays out on our lives? Like, if you look at it, like we're out here chasing all these things. We're entitled. We want to be this great nation. But when you look at things that really kind of matter, life expectancy, best countries to live in the world, we're still not high up on that. Like, we're such a great country, at least by our standards. But how is that? Is that hurting us more than helping us? Does that make sense? How I'm going with that? Like, it's the downfall of being Americans. I mean,
I see what you're saying.
Or just an American dream.
Like you're saying, for America to be the greatest nation in the world. How did it become the greatest nation in the world? Slavery. Let's just talk about that. Then under privileged wages, when we talk about Jim Crow, right? So we became the greatest nation in the world based on the low wages and African Americans and enslaved people. And now, how do we keep up with that, right? How do we keep America the greatest nation in the world, supposedly the greatest nation in the world? And it really comes down to on the backs of our laborers and at the expense of our productivity and the thought that we got to work long hours and always got to be at work and we got to pay for everything. And, healthcare isn't a right and we shouldn't have universal healthcare. We should have capitalistic for-profit healthcare, and social services are for the weak and pull yourself up by your bootstraps. All of that stuff that they love to talk about with the United States comes at the detriment of our people. So I get what you're saying. It's like, is the American dream kind of killing Americans? And ultimately, I'll say, yeah, I really do. I think the American dream comes at a detriment to our people. We can go, you talk about the happiness index and everything like that. We can go to other countries that supposedly aren't America, aren't the greatest nations in the world, but we could be happier, right? We could move to a Ghana or some of the other countries and get generally 80-90% of what we get here in America, especially if you go into some of the cities in Africa or what we call developing nations and things like that. And you get everything. Like there's restaurants there. There's places to go. There's places to eat. There's bars and nightlife and all of that stuff in all of those countries, right? I mean, it's no different. What happens is it's the media shifts the perspective, right? They go to Africa, they go to Ghana, they go to Senegal, and they go to these places, and they go to the countryest place that they can think of, out in the bush, and say, here's what this country looks like. But they don't go to Trailer Park America or small town country America and say, this is what America looks like. So it is 100% perception. So I think the American dream is kind of messing up our people And it's getting worse, right? Because as they still buy into the American dream, they don't think that we need to advance and get smarter about what we do and how we provide services and everything. And so, ultimately one day, the only reason we stay the greatest nation in the world is because of our money. It's because of our productivity. It's because our people work so hard and can do so many things, because our productivity index and our gross domestic GDP, gross domestic product, is so much larger than other countries. That's what keeps us as the greatest nation in the world, and our military might, between those. So if any one of those actually messes up, right? China gets a higher GDP than us and starts outproducing us, and they get a larger economy than us. If the European Union comes together and the euro becomes larger than us from a US dollar perspective, any of those things kind of mess up and get out of whack, then we aren't going to be considered the greatest nation in the world, because any other metric that you can think of, we already aren't. So to answer your question, I agree. I think it messes us up.
So this is like kind of similar to, I think, a past question you had, Rozzy, but I feel like Ferg is asking, it's government's role, or, like our politics of this country is like a danger to us when it comes to the American dream.
That in the fact that I look at the American dream today versus 30 years ago, 40 years ago, when now you can you pick up your phone and you see this lavish life. We literally had to watch Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous to look at, or Dynasty to look at what lavish life looks like. Kids are walking around with Gucci and Balenciaga, like it's everywhere. And so people are trying to live this. They're trying to make this money. They're trying to live these lifestyles that they might not be equipped with. And then you throw in things like how we talk about self-esteem now, like that's a big thing, have faith. That's not a new concept, but the importance of self-esteem is newer than we would think. Like they started really focusing on self-esteem maybe 40, 50 years ago. Feel good about yourself. That's why like a lot of the older people, and the way I say it is like with the participation trophies and all these other things, like they want you to feel good. Like, are we poisoning ourselves or trying to live up to this American dream? We're trying to feel good. We're so focused on feeling good about ourselves, and the government's not doing a good job of, like you're saying, kind of backing it up. The American dream is dangerous. I mean, life expectancy is shorter. Like when you look at other countries that Rise was talking about, other developed countries, the way of life, best countries to live in. We're not in the top 10. We're not in the top 10 in life expectancy.
But America likes to portray itself like it is. And I think that's where a lot of the harm comes. We start sticking our nose in business that isn't ours, because we always want to come off as this noble, fair, and great, just nation. And, we've been going back and forth with Russia for decades now. But one of the things Russia called us out on, it was during the Ferguson riots. We was criticizing them for how they're treating people. And they're like, man, look how y'all treat y'all people. Y'all got tanks and stuff in their neighborhood and stuff. What are you talking about? So we're kind of like, I don't think you guys watched, what was that show? House of Cards. You probably watched the first couple of seasons, but there's one season where he's running against this guy who's this so-called perfect candidate. He has his perfect family. And like, as soon as the cameras turned off for like one of their commercials, him and the wife was arguing and he couldn't stand his kids and stuff like that. That's kind of like us. Like we put on this front, America puts on this front, but when you look within and some of the policies that harm us and things like that, the American dream can be harmful. I've never bought into, I said this before, I never bought into America is the greatest nation because I don't know. I haven't lived anywhere else. What I always say is there's nowhere else I'd rather live. But as far as the greatest nation, they try to keep that persona up so much to where I think we do a lot of things that we shouldn't be doing. We spend money that we don't have. Like Rozzy said, we're number one because we spend the money. We don't really have that money. Like we're going further and further in debt and things like that. So we're spending money we don't have just to keep up that image of America being number one. But when you look at every statistical category, we're not even in the top 20.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the way you're saying the government is the average American household, we're in debt. You know, we have a lot of things that we portray on the surface as great, but behind closed doors, there's so much turmoil. We don't acknowledge our shortcomings. The Ferguson correlation was perfect. You know, we change up the dialogue. You know, it's not the same. No, I mean, there's a tank going down the street in Russia, and there's a tank going down the street outside of St. Louis. Is that not a tank? Is that not a residential area? Like, tell me how it's different. You know, are your police or military manhandling your citizens? Are there people dying in the street? Is there political unrest? Like, and I'm not even going that I didn't even want to go down that rabbit hole. What I'm saying is, you know, we're trying to live this image. We're so caught up in trying to be the greatest nation in the world or the greatest family or reality star. We want to have this portrayal. But I mean, the fact that we talk about working so hard, the 40-hour work week, and we've all traveled, we've gone out of the country, and these people are working a lot less. The fact that you have a child and women are getting off a year or more for childcare, that fathers are getting off of more time to help rear the kids and be more involved. There's a lot that goes into that. You know, even I think the thing about Americans is the wealth gap is huge, but you probably have more people on one side of the wealth gap. You know, where you might not go to many countries and people like the middle class, we have a big old middle class and upper middle class and people who are, you know, able to move, movers and shakers. So we're content. Usually we're the people who are, that will create the unrest because we're not content with the world that we have, with the world we live in. And so that's how things change. We're happy for the most part. We're happy enough not to cause any real major problems. The Americans have done a great job at that, you know, but we work our ass off for this potential to live this lavish life, to buy these clothes, to buy the house, to buy the car, to send our kids to college, to do all these things. And at the end of the day, we still got to pay for healthcare. We're working ourselves to death, you know. The food, we're always on the go. Like we're just not living healthy lifestyles for the most part. I was looking at, I forgot what study I was looking at, but the U.S. is the 46th in life expectancy by country as of 2023. And 21st in best countries to live in the world. But we got a strong military and we got a lot of money. And it's like, what's causing that? Could we, if we were number 15, what would life look like? If we were number 15 in life expectancy, would we probably have less money than most of us because we work shorter hours? You know, we'll be a little happier. You know, will the economy be better? We're not trying to buy the world. It was just very interesting. I'm actually listening to a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F. And they had a lot of things that just made me think about how we as Americans view the world. And generationally, like I was talking about how self-esteem and entitlement has become more prevalent in the last few decades, and how the part it plays on what we want and what we expect and how we're living our lives. And that's what made me get to this question. It's like, man, we expect so much and we're worrying ourselves to death if we don't have it. We're stressed out if we can't get it, but we'll work our off to try to get it. And at the end of the day, we're killing ourselves for the hope that, you know, life will be better, rather than like, life can be good right now. Enjoy it, work a little less, spend more time with your family, and you might live another 5, 10, 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. Good answers, fellas. God bless America.
And no place else.
All righty.
Lowe's knows that free is just better. That's why MyLowe's Rewards is free to join. As a member, you earn points towards MyLowe's money on eligible purchases, get exclusive free gifts, and earn free shipping at Silver Key status, all on top of weekly member-only deals. Don't wait. Join MyLowe's Rewards for free today and start saving more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Good night, itchy eyes. Good night, sudden sneeze. Good night to your symptoms of allergies. Xyzal is the allergy medicine you take before bed. It provides powerful relief while you rest your head. Not just all night, but all the next day. Xyzal keeps working, keeping allergies at bay. And without those annoying symptoms disturbing your rest, you can wake up the next morning feeling your absolute best. Remember, be wise all, take Xyzal. At night.
Let's go ahead and close on out.
I had a great weekend last week. My cousin Jay flew in town, and I finally got a chance to meet his wife, Alexis Wilson. I had a great time with them. We went to Felt Lounge at the MGM. We went to the Gervonta Tank Davis fight, and we went to brunch, man. So just had a great time hanging out with them. Just trying to see family more. We're also spread out now. They're way in Houston. I'm way up here near DC, and I forget how long they've been married, but this was like my first time meeting her. And this was just my third time seeing him since my wedding, which was in 2006. So that's how bad of a job we've been doing. But in the 3 times we've seen each other, that's been in the last 2 years. So we're getting better. Nice. So just want to give a shout out to them, and we as cousins are trying to do better with linking up. So
that's good.
Had a great time, man. Just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, it's so funny. That's my family and my cousins are doing the same. They actually rented an Airbnb during Mardi Gras so that all of us can have a centralized place to be and hang out that's on the parade route and everything. So like little stuff like that makes a huge difference, man. So yeah, shout out to you guys for kind of making that progress on it. I want to shout out Port City Second Liners, the Second Liner Ball. I think it's their 15th year or 14th year doing it. Did it really big, man. I mean, somebody was there and we were just talking, and they were like, yeah, their city would never or could never do anything like that big, to be able to kind of make something at the fairgrounds and pack out the fairgrounds and make it as huge as it is. So, you know, just that it's huge to see the culture of Mobile, and I think the Second Liner Ball is like a really good microcosm for the culture of Mobile, because they do hit every generation, right? They'll bring in some blues singers and some R&B singers, and you know, a little bit of ratchetness with Webby in there and all that. So they do a good job of catering to everybody that's black in Mobile, and so I really like what they're doing. So shout out to you guys on that. Only other thing I got, man, is as we walk into MLK Day and everything, I just always want to bring up, don't let them whitewash MLK. We've had that conversation a couple times here on the show. Don't forget, MLK was on the FBI's watch list. Like, he was assassinated. He wasn't, you know, just regular killed or died of natural causes. That man was assassinated. So he was not liked by the masses. And what he did for our people to advance our people, it was huge. So just kind of throw that out there. Just make sure you don't let him whitewash it and use his words against us.
Can I add to that? Also, don't let them put his face on club flyers. Shout out to the people who commented on Ambrosia Hookah Bar and Lounge in Nashville, Tennessee, who had a picture of MLK with a hat on and a bottle of Casamigos and a glass in his hand. Apparently the comments got to them so much to where they deleted the picture and they turned their comment section off. And that's great. By now, clubs should know better. But when you see that type of stuff, I didn't want to post it on our page because I didn't want to like have it out there, the image out there any more than it needed to be. But I did see it, and I'm glad that people shut that down. It's a Boondocks episode. Let's not do that.
Yep.
Man, I actually stole my thunder because I saw that on another one. But so quick shout out to the comedian Jared Carmichael. He hosted the Golden Globe Awards this past week, and he made some people mad. You could see them squirming in his seat. And he took very calculated shots at the committee, talking about, you know, their racist history and, you know, put it on Front Street. The only reason he was asked to host was because he was black. Like, this is their 80th year. 79 years before, they've never had a black host. And all of a sudden, with all the stuff going on, you got a black host. And the funny things, if you watch the clips, you can see the audience, some people looking uncomfortable. Then you had some people that, you know, white and black, they were like, he's right. You know that, right? Like they were nodding in agreement. So Jared Carmichael, I've really begun to appreciate this young man's comedy in the last few years. I've seen a couple of his stand-ups and a couple of clips, but his latest stand-up, he came out and to the audience. He had not come out in public yet. A few of his family members and friends knew, but it was very enlightening and very truthful and open, which I appreciated. And even with his monologue for the Golden Globes, you could tell that he's really thoughtful in his approach. So to me, he reminds me of a young Dave Chappelle as far as the way he looks at the world and the way he's not scared to challenge the norm. So keep doing what you do, Jared. And outside of that, once again, happy MLK Day. Anything we're missing, fellas? All right. Byron said at the beginning of the show, we will see you at the at the Sneaker Ball. And what we got 4 weeks. So get your giddy up together, get your outfits together. I need to save my nickels and dimes because we just had this whole segment on the American Dream and all these expensive luxury items. And guess who won't be wearing them? This guy. Can't say the same for my co-host, but they're living an American dream. 3 Brothers, No Sense, 6 Rules of Podcast. Listen, like, share, subscribe, comment, and most importantly, listen again. Talk to you next week.